Past year brought about several changes to federal employment laws, and area businesses need to know how these laws operate and what's new ahead of 2023. An upcoming seminar looks to address some of those changes on November 15th. It's hosted by Johns, Flaherty and Collins, and joining us from the law firm we have Brent Smith.
Good morning.
Good morning, Brent. How are you?
Good. How about you?
I am doing well. Excited to learn a little bit more about this upcoming seminar. So what do area businesses, what are they going to take away from this?
Well, a couple of main things. Remote working has become so prevalent now in our society, and we'll talk. There's different rules of the game for those people who work remotely, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what should go in handbooks now. That changes all the time. I urge employers they've got to be updated, such as remote learning, COVID, all the number of things that would go in somebody's handbook. What can you do when you have somebody who applies for a job who has an arrest record or a conviction record? What can you consider? What can't you? What about if you want a non-compete agreement for somebody in your company? What can you put in that non-compete? What can't you? Those are just some of the things that we'll be talking about next week.
And Brent, why is it so important for maybe new businesses, maybe young business owners to attend something like this?
Because the law changes so quickly, and you don't want to get caught up on some violation of the law right out when you starting your business, or if you've been around a business for a long time. I talked to somebody yesterday who hadn't updated their employee handbook for decades, and I said, you really should, because the law changes and there's new considerations. So it's good for people who are just starting their business so they don't get tripped up, but also people who've been there for a while and maybe haven't looked at these things.
Registration due by November 11th. Seminar takes place November 15th from 7:30 to 9. Is there anything else that people need to know before coming out to the seminar?
No, I mean, they can register beforehand, or if they just show up on the 15th, we'll be there. But I think it's a good, again, it's an ongoing process. We try to do this every year. The law changes all the time, and this kind of gets people up to date.
Especially in a time where we're seeing more and more new businesses in the La Crosse area and the Cooley region. Certainly vital to get that information out there.
You bet.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Brent.
Thank you.
All right.